Oh, welcome to the Gov Shack. So happy to have you with me this evening, a little bit past 7 p.m. on the East Coast, and I have returned. I know some of you are like, wow, Larry, you have been away for a while. True, I was. I was away for a while. I was at Freedom Fest in Vegas for about a week, spending a lot of time there, chatting with people up, trying to get people to understand that I'm still running, trying to get stuff done here. And it is challenging, I know, but lawsuits are lawsuits. They're not going to let me have this easily, so I'm going to have to fight for it, and I'm prepared to fight for it, and I am fighting for it, and people were happy to hear that I'm fighting for it. So really can't be angry about that at all. Trying my best to rock and roll and make things happen, and it is challenging, but we are doing it. That's what I can say. We are doing it. And remember, if you do know you're going to like this, and you will, remember to click the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. Please hit that if you would, so that people will know what's going on, why it's going on, and hopefully enjoy it. That is my hope. So yes, guys, I appreciate that. And I do have something I want to show. My team put something together. If I can do this right, I hope I can. I hope I can do it right. I don't always do this right because I am sometimes a freaking boomer. But here is a little piece that they put together to show what was going on while I was away, right? They'll actually do it while I'm away. Here we go. Until next year. There we go. So that's what we did. Lots of people there. Looked pretty cool. I enjoyed it. 4 days. Is that right? 4 days. Met lots of people. Again, moving forward, it was pretty good. I think some of you saw some of the pictures that we sent. I hope you guys paid attention. It was pretty cool. Phil said Superman and Dean came with it. True. 2 Supermen were there together. True. Absolutely. So that was very interesting. I'm happy that we went there. See if I can get rid of that piece from here now. Now I got to ask him more of myself. I got to spend more time figuring stuff out. Any case, so what did I want to talk about today? Today, I wanted to bring up something that's very important, and that is what's happening now in New York City, New York in general, what's also happening now in California. And the thing that I want to bring up is most people don't know that what's happening in California, mainstream media is finally picking up. Why does that matter? I'm going to show you a little bit, right, about how people just don't seem to pay attention when bad things happen, and they ignore, right? They ignore when their guy does the wrong thing. But there are some people who are paying attention, and I'm going to bring up someone who I haven't brought up in a while, Fareed Zakaria. A little bit later. Fareed Zakaria is finally able to go, look, even I can't ignore this, right? Even I can't. This is so bad. And he's as establishment as can be. And he's like, you know what? Even me, I got to figure this one out. But let me bring up, I'm going to give you a couple pieces here. This is what Zohran Mamdani was talking about, about 4 or 5 months ago, about homelessness. Because what he talked about was how he was going to help the homeless problem. That ain't happening. And I was going to take care of the millionaires. That ain't going to happen. Well, so what's actually happening? Homelessness is growing in New York City. That's true. And millionaires are leaving. So I would like the opposite to happen in my state. Man, or your state you feel. I would like millionaires to stay and move. And I would like homelessness to go down. That would be nice. We're not getting that. But you might go, wait a minute, like, didn't we all know this? I don't think so. Because here's what Zohran Mamdani told us about 5 months ago, give or take. He was telling us what he's going to do. So, Mr. Mamdani, please enlighten us with what you're doing. Please tell us.
To individuals who receive outreach from the social services folks and sort of still refuse to leave the street. I'm wondering if there's a policy in place in that.
Now, notice I have mentioned that in the past more than once. For those of you who know about the homeless population, after a certain amount of time, there are many homeless people who don't want to go back into society. They have accepted homelessness as their world, right? There's a group of, now that's not everybody. I do not want to paint with a broad brush. It depends. People tend to think of the homeless population as just like a crazy addict who wants to kill people. Those people exist, but they are not the majority of homeless. And there's a huge variety of people homeless, whether they're families, whatever. But without the question, there's a group of people who literally say, no, I don't want to go back. I want to stay here. How do you handle those people? How about when they start making things tough for people? Well,
and my second question is talking to homeless advocacy groups. They had a lot of hope in you, some of the promises you made during the campaign regarding perhaps and also in.
And why were they so happy? You might go, well, okay, this is what you might think. Well, these groups who rely upon government funding, they're happy because they're going to be able to solve the homelessness problem. No. That's the last thing they want to do. You're saying, wait a minute, Larry, you're telling me all these nonprofits who are funded by the government who are targeted to stop homelessness don't want to stop it? Yes, that's what I'm telling you. If they stop homelessness, how will they get paid? See, the goal is to grift. The goal is to get tons of money and not solve the problem. This way, next year, they can get more money because they never solved the problem. And they looked at Zoran and went, cha-ching, this guy's going to throw us all kind of cash. I'm going to buy my third house in Florida. They're currently paying their mortgage on their second house. I'm going to buy my third house in Florida. That'll work. That's what they're thinking. So that's what he means when he says, they thought good. See,
homeless encampment sweeps. I got a sense of profound disappointment from those groups today. So I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about that. Do you feel you are?
See, Nosy says it. The homeless don't want to be controlled. Yes. Andrea says, strange, the same thing happening in Seattle. Businesses leaving, homelessness is growing. What? Who would have guessed that? Only every liberty-loving person in the country.
Going back on some of the promises, very clear promises you made during the campaign.
Thank you for the question, Jeff. So in December, I was asked about my thoughts on the prior administration's policy. And I said that I thought that policy was a failure, and I judged it as such because of the outcomes that it resulted in over the course of the year that it was in action.
That's not bad.
Over the course of the measurement of a year that it was in action. On January 5th, soon after coming into office, I made a decision with my team to put a pause on that prior administration's policy as we started to develop our own policy that would generate far better outcomes for this.
So he said, well, the Adams people trying to clear some stuff because Adams got tired of it. He just got tired of it because it wasn't working. So he was trying to fix it. Not saying I love Adams. I'm just saying what actually happened. He said, wait a minute, you're going to end that. And I don't have a policy. So let's do nothing. How about that? How about nothing?
And we knew that that is a policy that we would only deliver on once the prolonged Code Blue came to an end. Because as we know that in a Code Blue, the focus should be on getting homeless New Yorkers inside, not on the question of how we respond.
Now, he says not how to respond, but here's a problem. Those New Yorkers, those homeless New Yorkers, as Nosy mentioned, don't want to be controlled. Well, they don't want to go inside. If they want to go inside, they'd go inside. See that? Cage says, oh, glad I made it. Just got back from visiting with Mitch McConnell. He's looking spry AF. I know. I've also had a call. So yes, he's calling everybody. It's amazing how he's going. This guy, he's more active now than he's been in years. So thoroughly impressive. I'm glad. Yes.
To structures. And so the policy that we have developed has a number of important distinctions.
Oh, it's got distinctions.
The first is, unlike in the prior administration, when the NYPD were being tasked with the work of responding to homeless encampments, we have made the decision to actually have this be a responsibility of the Department of Homeless Services.
See, that's he made this. By the way, this is about 5 months ago. I'm gonna update this in about a minute. But yes, so take that, guys.
This be their responsibilities in line with their work. And so not only will this work be housed in a different agency, the work itself is far different. And what I mean by that is, unlike in the past administration, where much of the interaction with a homeless New Yorker was defined by the first day when you'd provide a notice and the seventh day when you'd initiate a sweep. In our administration, every single day of that time period will be characterized by outreach.
Okay, so here's his difference. He's saying, well, what's happening here is in the old time, he gave you 7 days and then swept you away and got you off the street, right? So you had less homeless people on the street. He said, okay, my difference, see, I'm way different. The difference between me and the 7 days is we're going to have outreach every day. So we're going to bug you every day. We're going to pay people more money to go out and see the same people every day. That's what he said. Okay, I guess that's good, but we'll see.
Outreach from homeless services workers to homeless New Yorkers.
And look, I'm not. See, that's what we need. More people. More jobs.
The importance of this, as we saw over the course of this prolonged Code Blue, was that by having relentless outreach each and every day, you are able to connect with homeless New Yorkers for whom their first reaction might be that of skepticism. Their second reaction might be that of wariness, given their prior experiences within the shelter system.
Okay.
But their third, their fourth, their fifth, their sixth reaction may be one of interest in the possibility of.
All right. So if you just bug the homeless person 6 times, then they will go, oh, I was just kidding. I now want to go home.
Shelter services.
Okay.
Programming support, supportive housing. And
I like it.
That's why, if you see in our preliminary budget, we increased funding for specifically this kind of outreach.
All right. Here's why they're mad. I'm not joking. His budget went internal. I'm just being clear. His budget went internal. These people are outside consultant grifters. So what he did was say, no, I'm not going to give it to the outside grifters. I'm going to give it to the inside grifters. I'm not joking. So he said, I'm going to take my budget and I'm not just going to hand it out to all the grifters out there. I got my own grifters in here. I'm going to give it to them instead. That's why they're angry. I wish I was joking, but all that talk means, why didn't you keep giving money to the homeless industrial complex, which is what we have in New York State? He said, I'm not doing that. I've got grifters inside. I can just make government bigger. Why would I pretend to not make government bigger by handing stuff out to outside grifters when I can just obviously make government bigger by just hiring more people and giving people more money here? Yes, that's how New York is fixing things.
So that we would be able to sustain this over the course of those 7 days.
That's how you
so
can
that we
sustain
can actually connect homeless New Yorkers with the services.
Takes government to do that. That's that warmth of collectivism he was talking about. That was that right there. Okay, so they go, well, Larry, that sounds amazing. I am sure that has completely worked and everything is awesome now. And now it all works. Well, no, because we have more homeless than we've had. And not just that, we have a massive homeless encampment that's been here for months and he has not fixed it at all. So he was actually asked about it. Someone in the press actually asked him about the homeless encampment on the Upper West Side. That's huge and we have to fix it. Now, according to what he said 5 months ago, that shouldn't have happened because the warmth of collectivism in government would have touched these people 6 times with that amazing warmth of collectivism. And the people would have said, oh my God, I love the warmth. I'm going to go inside because Mom Donnie says so. That was supposed to happen. The question is, did it? Let's see.
And to your first question, so I want to first just go over what our administration's focus is, right? We are focused on connecting New York.
This, by the way, is today.
Workers to shelter and on establishing a pipeline to stable housing, not just moving New Yorkers from one place to another place.
Okay.
And so we made it very clear at the beginning of this year that our approach was going to be one where we would have DHS outreach teams lead the work of conducting daily outreach to homeless New Yorkers.
He did say that. He this is what I said. You said that. True.
Who were living in an encampment following the notice of that encampment sweep. So those would be a full week's worth of daily engagements and outreach once that notice was provided.
Absolutely. Andrea says the collectivism didn't feel so warm to the homeless that froze in the winter. True. What happened? Why didn't that warmth of collectivism? They weren't being collective enough, Andrea. See, that's their problem. If they were more collective, they would have been warmer. See, here's what you don't get, Andrea. Okay, you got to understand this. It was really cold. So you got to be extra collective. See, they weren't collective enough. Just be more collective. Then you would be warmer and they would have lived. It's their fault. Just so you understand, their fault.
The goal of that outreach is to ensure that we're building trust, that we're actually able to connect those New Yorkers with services, and that we can connect them with any other things that they need, whether it be medical care or whether it be housing support. And then
we can connect them the whole way through. Did you
by the seventh day, the notice, following the notice, the encampment will be cleared. And to the specific encampment that you brought up, we're going to look into that.
No answer. No answer. To be clear, it's the biggest one we've had. It's an embarrassment to the Upper West Side. For those you know, the Upper West Side, that's not poor people, right? That's not poor people. Yes. And yeah. So that was the homelessness issue. So you might go, Larry, that sounds terrible. That sounds horrible. How in the world can you fix the homelessness issue? Well, the piece that people aren't telling you, the piece that people aren't talking about, which is when you have a homelessness problem, again, there are chunks. One chunk of people is people who simply can't afford housing. I will cover that in a second. That's a chunk, right? They simply can't afford housing. Got it. That happens. People lose their jobs, whatever. They become homeless. Happens all the time. A lot of those people do want to head back into the world. They do want to. That's fine. Another chunk is people who have addiction issues. That's another chunk. They sometimes overlap, but not always. Depends. So people have addiction, you have to give them services in some way, shape, or form. Outreach is nice, but the problem is, what about the services, right? Whatever that is, whatever that issue is, right? Well, I've explained how you can do that. Instead of being in encampments, they can go to, you've heard me say it a million times before, they can head to the Caring Caboose. Gives them an option, a place to go. In either case, a way to get them back into the system in an easy way, an easy place. You can make that happen. Absolutely. Not just that. What about the people who actually don't want to go back into the world? No worries. You can put them in a specific places with other homeless people. We do it already in the Bronx. We do it other places. You create specific shelters that are specific separately for homeless people who can be separated. Shelters are large, open areas. You'll find them often going to hotels. Well, create them. Create these types of hotels, these kind of tiny houses where they can go there and sometimes want to be alone. Okay, let them be alone. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad when you're taking a dump on the street. I'm mad when you're whipping out your tool in front of families, which they do. That's what I'm upset about. That's unacceptable. And if you do that, you have to go to jail. I know it sounds horrible, but if you're doing that, you must go to jail. You want to whip your tool out someplace? Great. Go into your tiny house, whip it out all day long. I don't mind. Do what you want to do. Pee where you want to pee. Not mad, in your own place. Do as you see fit. When you're out there, we have families, and you're whipping your tool out, which they do, taking a dump on the street, which they do, that has to stop. So we do have to find a way to make that happen. He wouldn't bring it up. The problem is, in his world, you can't say what's true because every homeless person has to be seen like they're a saint who just fell on bad times. Now, to be forward, there are saints who fell on bad times. I want to be very clear. So you deal with them differently. It's okay to say, here's an issue, here's an issue, here's an issue, and deal with each of them separately. That makes sense. He deals with them as a monolith. He thinks they're all the same. They're not. Keep peace. Missy says, keep your tool in your shed. Yes. Andrew says, it's not talked about enough being decently private, being decent privately too. Well, yes, you should, but yes. There's a difference. I can should you on that, Andrew, all day long, and I will. You should, but I'm not prepared to force, right? But when it comes to the public, sometimes you have to use force. And it may sound horrible, but sometimes you must. So, yes. Oh, excuse me. All right, let me keep moving down here if I could. Now, this one here, I moved away from this, so I want to now head, if I could, to this is Mamdani. Now it's about rich people leaving. Now you might go, well, Larry, they're going to leave because of the homeless. No, that's not why. That's the reason why some of the middle class people leave. The wealthy hardly see them because the people won't tell you is under most administrations, de Blasio is different and Mamdani's different, but he might change. What happens in those special neighborhoods is they call the police in and the police will roust the homeless out of the good neighborhoods. And that may sound horrible. It's still true. It's how it works. They roust them out of good neighborhoods. Now, good neighborhood, you're going to get what you're going to get. Good neighborhood, they used to roust them out. Not so much as much. De Blasio didn't care. Neither did Mamdani. Why? As you've heard me say 1,000 times, Mamdani and de Blasio are actually true believers. They're actual socialists. Most Democrats you hear probably go, they're all socialists and Marxists and communists. Garbage. Most of them aren't. Most Democrats are corporate Democrats. They're not communists. They're not socialists. None of that. They're corporate Democrats who will say whatever is required to stay in power. And if they got to say socialist stuff, they'll say it. Communist stuff, they'll say it. Whatever. They just want to stay in power. These two, though, they're believers. They are believers. Bronner, by the way, also had a combo with Mitch. Man, Mitch is getting around. That guy, he better have a good cell phone plan because he is calling everybody. All right. He said COVID was a scam and asked if Yo got any more than me files. Yes. When I spoke with him, he mentioned a similar thing. So, okay, at least he is okay. He's being, he's telling the truth. I like that. So, yeah. All righty. Robin says, I have a friend who lives in upstate New York, and she has said to me repeatedly that she won't go into the city anymore. Too dirty and dangerous. Yeah, it depends where you go. Depends where you go, but there is some truth to that. Yeah, I would like her to stop that. I want us to be better so she comes back. I want her to come back. And I still want to know how to get into the grift. Me too. We got to get paid here. We got to get paid, Andrea. We got to get paid. So, yeah. All right. Let me, if I can, grab this piece. This one is from, I think it's Fox News, I think. We will see. Let's see how this one is. All right.
From coast to coast, Democrat leaders are pushing aggressive tax policies for the wealthy. I mean, critics argue those policies are what's driving businesses and what's driving residents out of their states. It's doing the opposite effect. The National News Desk, Angela Brown, joins us right now with more on that. And it's really the law of economics in this situation. You're going to go where it costs less to live for most people. So New York is the latest city seeing the consequence of this. But there's cities all over the country that are dealing with this right now.
You're 100% right, Jan. And millions, billions of dollars in some cases just going out the door. New York City Mayor Mamdani, is doubling down, proposing a new tax on luxury second homes, and also an increase on taxes on the highest earners who already pay somewhere around 14% in city taxes. Now we're looking into others.
Think about it. 14% if you're wealthy, additional taxes because you live in a city. Not 14% taxes. 14 on top of. You make $10 million a year, that's an additional $1.4 million. Now, the problem that people don't understand, and she's getting at is, and I keep saying this, the wealthy pay a high tax, but they don't take advantage of the system, right? So as the wealthy drop $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, whatever millions of dollars into the system, they're not taking advantage of it because they're not homeless or whatever the case may be. So if you want to create all these homelessness issues, I got it, right? But who's going to pay for it? The wealthy are going to give the money to it, right? Well, when the wealthy leave, their money leaves. But the homeless is still here. So someone still has to take care of the services. But the wealthy leave. So who takes care of the services? Now, I know you might go, well, Larry, we'll just print money. Well, the Fed can print money all day, all night. True. Money printed does go burr. True. Problem is, New York City can't just print money. New York State can't just print money. What are you going to do? Well, a couple things you do. You can go into more debt. Absolutely. You can beg Uncle Donnie for another check. You see, Uncle Joe gave him lots of checks. Now you can beg Uncle Don for checks. Maybe he'll give you one. The federal government, Uncle Sam, often gives checks. So you can beg for a check. That's option one. Another option is you find other ways of punishing New Yorkers. And they're usually called surcharges. Yes, they are. So you guys get a speeding ticket. Speeding ticket costs $100. Okay, great. Surcharge, another $100. What? Yeah, it's not a tax. Bronner, not a tax. So don't get ahead of yourself. It's not a tax. It's a surcharge. Way different. Way different. How's it different? Spelling. Spelled different. Is it not spelled differently? It is. Tax is not spelled the same as surcharge. Therefore, different. Checkmate. Anarchist, take that. So, yes, it's totally different. So, and then maybe when I go into the city, I pay a fee for congestion pricing. That's a congestion fee. Not a tax. Again, see, they're not taxing anybody, Ronner. No one's getting taxed. That's a congestion fee. What's the difference? Yet again, spelling. Checkmate, anarchist. Check and mate. Spelled totally. That's even spelled differently from the surcharge. Totally different thing.
States who are basically going down the same road as well. But first, we're going to start with this new criticism for Mayor Mamdani, this time coming from a former Florida mayor who says his state is benefiting from these blue cities and blue state policies of raising all these taxes. Scott Singer is the former mayor of Boca Raton. He's now running for Congress. He says Mamdani's plan, quote, makes no sense.
Oh, he loved the Boca Raton people. They are like, Mamdani's the greatest mayor of all time because everyone's coming down there.
His argument, the people behind being taxed on second homes aren't even using city services. So all the city is doing basically is giving them another reason just to move to other places like Florida.
Yeah, like gun shop owners loved Obama. They were like, Obama's the greatest president of all time because Obama was the greatest gun salesman the gun shops ever had. They were like, go Obama, Obama. They loved Obama. And guys in Boca Raton, they love Mamdani. He's the best real estate salesman they got.
Boca Raton and South Florida in particular had benefited from so much capital coming here, fleeing high tax, high crime jurisdictions. That's why we kept the tax rate low and continued to lower it.
Well, these tax-rich policies are popping up all across the country, mainly in blue cities and states. Our Sinclair station in Seattle is covering the so-called Millionaires tax that was recently signed into law by the governor there. The new tax will apparently take effect January 1st of 2028. At the same time, you have Starbucks just announcing a $100 million investment in Nashville, not Seattle, Washington.
Why would Starbucks, started in Seattle, all of a sudden move to Nashville? Why would they do? Could it be because? Oh, probably taxes. Yeah, probably.
Creating 2,000 jobs in Nashville. Starbucks, as though insisting is keeping its headquarters in Seattle. And then we talked about California. Jan mentioned that has been taxing its highest earners at an elevated level since 2012. A business-aligned group estimates the state lost $1.7 billion in tax revenue in 2022 alone. But California's own budget analysts say this exodus is real, it's happening, but they claim it's only saw a piece of the much larger revenue picture.
That's the big problem they had there. They see it all. It is a big problem. Andrew says, 20 years ago, living in the Big Apple was a dream for me. Wanted to be a weatherman or making plenty of money and roam the city streets in a new Ferrari. Now these ain't the streets I want to roam in. Correct. I will say this all the time. Years ago, New York City specifically, but New York State in general, was a place you came to be somebody. Right? You didn't think you were going to make it in your town or whatever, right? Now you leave New York to be somebody. Yes, that's the problem. Robin says, Montana is seeing a lot of influx of Richie Riches from New York and California. Tax are here at a whole different level. Yes. They're going to places where they just don't want to be hammered all the time. I mean, it's kind of that simple. They don't want to be hammered all the time. It's embarrassingly bad. Says you just saw that. All right. So you might say, well, great. So that means that with what they're doing, they're going to take that extra money. The guys are not going to leave. They're going to be totally fine. We're going to have no problems whatsoever. It's going to be awesome. Right? Because that was 6 months ago. Well, what about now? Right? It's going to be great. Right?
Big Apple's real estate market is taking another hit. Google co-founder and billionaire Sergey Brin reportedly dumped his stake in a New York City investment fund for pennies on the dollar.
He dumped his stake in a New York City investment fund for 6 cents on a dollar. I'm not joking. 6 cents on a dollar. So you invest $100 million. $100 million. And you go, just give me $6 million. It's fine. What? Yeah. You invested $100 million. No. Just give me $6 million. I want out. Dude, you're losing $94 million. I know. Take the $94 million. I want out. I wish I was joking. I'm not. 6 cents on a dollar. That's an investment. That's like you say, hey, Larry, I love that new water you're selling. I want to invest $1,000. Thanks for your $1,000. Larry, your water sucks. Can I just have $60 back to leave you alone? Can I just take $60 back so I can never be part of anything you ever do again? Damn. That's what just happened. That's what just happened. It's insane.
Landlords are suffering from rent controls and explosive costs under Zohran Mamdani's administration. And Bryn, well, he just wanted to get out before it was too late.
And there's the thing. He wanted to get out before it was too late. So this guy thought he would lose less money if he took 6 cents on a dollar than if he stayed in, because of the debt that might happen and the losses he might take. He said, yeah, I'll just use 3. It's fine. It's fine.
All right, Charlie, I want to come to you on this here because the numbers suggest he took a $75 million loss on this. Yeah. I wish we were all in that position.
How much?
Yeah, I don't know.
75 billion?
75 billion, 100 billion.
In the scheme of things, that
he's actually worth about 200 billion. But
might not be that much,
but
because
no,
it
man,
could cost him more.
The psychological pain of loss is
the taxes that he's going to have to pay.
He's still taking a loss, and that's always a hard thing to do.
What does this write it off on his taxes?
What does this mean, though, for Mayor?
This is people who don't know. They just say things like, he's writing it off for his taxes. You know, he's still taking a loss. People who don't deal with people like that say things like, did you write it off for his taxes? Yeah, you write it off that, but you still lost the money. You still lost the money. Okay, he's not paying taxes on the money that he lost.
Mamdani's policies. I mean, I feel like every other topic right now, we're talking about crazy economic policies that they think will work, and now the market is.
I've been following muni bond prices on this, particularly short-term municipal bond prices.
Now, this is the issue now that I'm not going to detail this. The point is, it's not working at all. They're leaving. It didn't work 6 months ago. It's not working. However, we're not going to see the big damage until later. Now, how do I know that? All right. Because this is Free Zakaria talking about what's been happening in Florida. And again, the reason why I'm bringing this up is not because this is magic we didn't know. The reason is this is Fareed Zakaria. That's why this matters. Just because it's him. Because this is mainstream
Here's
CNN.
My take. At a time when President Trump and Republicans are faring poorly in most polls, the story has been different in California. Republican Steve Hilton finished ahead of many high-spending Democrats in the governor's race to advance to the November election.
Now, that's the thing. And this, to me, really shows how bad the Democrats are right now. Why? People are mad at Trump, not Republicans, but non-Republicans are mad at Trump. They're not happy with what he's doing. They don't like what's happening. He's lost independence. The coalition's collapsed. In theory, not in practice, in theory, they should all be running to the Democratic Party. See, the right has screwed up. I'm going left. I'm mad at Republicans. I'm going to become a Democrat. They're not. Because Democrats also suck. So now what are they doing? Laying around in the middle somewhere. They're not rushing over to Democrats because Democrats still suck. Democrats haven't stopped sucking. Republicans just pissing people off, which means, okay, now I'm mad at Trump because he didn't do what I wanted him to do, or I'm mad at Republicans, they didn't do what I wanted them to do. I'm not a Democrat, though. So now what? Yes, and Democrats are unhappy. Fareed is obviously a Democrat and an establishment. He would like you all to run to the Democratic Party, but he's recognizing that's not happening.
Facing Democrat Javier Becerra. In Los Angeles, an overwhelmingly Democratic city, Spencer Pratt, a Republican former reality television personality, looked as if he might make the mayoral general election before finishing third.
Yep.
California Democrats will be tempted to dismiss all this as a sideshow.
Yes, this is a problem they always do. They just go, well, whatever. It's still Trump. Orange Man's still bad. And we all know that's all that matters. So they're still doing that. It's true. They're not making any sense here. JJ over on Rumble says, did Larry get to say hi to AP? I did say hi to Austin. I went to an event. He had a wine tasting. No, not wine tasting. It's some kind of tasting, alcohol tasting. I forgot what it was. I'm sober, so I didn't partake. It was some type of alcohol tasting thing. And an event. I did show up. I hung out with him, a couple of the guys, some of his crew, saw his lovely wife. His wife is amazing. I love Steph. She's great. So yes, I did, Jojo. To answer your question, yes, I did.
But the frustration is real and justified.
Yes.
California is one of the most dynamic places on the planet.
True.
It has Silicon Valley, Hollywood, world-class universities, extraordinary agriculture.
Problem is the agriculture is struggling a bit because of labor. Silicon Valley's leaving. It's going to Austin. Hollywood's almost gone already, on its way out. So everything's failing. What New York State still has right now is finance. When that goes away, and where's that going to? Miami and Boca Raton. Florida and Texas are stealing everything.
Ports,
yes.
Talent, and natural beauty. But it is a case study in how a rich society can spend more and more while producing less and less of what its ordinary citizens need.
It's almost like, wait a minute. It's almost like more and more government doesn't work. No, that can't be true. I must be misunderstanding because we all know the answer is always more government.
The paradox of California today is a successful economy attached to a failing model of governance.
What?
Consider the fiscal.
See, Bronner, it's just a failing model of government. This isn't the real one. See? He gets it.
Record. Since 2000, California's population has grown by roughly 15%.
Yep.
But the state's general expenditures have grown more than 200%.
Wait a minute. So he's saying that it increased 15% by population, but 200% budget? So government grew more? So therefore it must be a better state, right? Oh, yeah. Bronner says, I thought there was a reason I stopped liking Austin Peterson. I remember why. He became a Republican. That would be your reason. Phil says, yep, Austin's about supporting wars. Broke my heart. True. He became a Republican. That will be your reasoning, Bronner. So, yes, that's how that works. JJ says, and by the way, AP is expecting a second kid. He is. I think the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken. The end of the year, he will have his second kid. He'll be copying me, which is fine. He's done it before. That's okay. I appreciate that.
From $78 billion to about $248 billion. General spending per person has risen from about $2,300 to about $6,300.
Look at that.
The number of state employees has grown by more than 50% by one count.
What could go wrong?
Does anyone think that California government and its benefits have gotten 200% better in the last 25 years?
And this is the part that I think most people would actually agree with. Now, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying most people. Most people, if they pay high prices, high taxes, not surcharges, because those aren't taxes. Anyway, spelled totally differently. So they paid high taxes, but they got amazing services. Most people would be okay. Like, they'd be okay with it. Most people would be. Again, not saying I would, but most would be. I think that would actually happen. So if you look at places like Denmark and that pay high prices, that pay high taxes, they have not a progressive, but a regressive tax base, which means if you make middle or low, you actually pay a higher tax rate because you take part of these services. But many of the people are satisfied because the services are good services they're paying for directly, and they believe they would pay for it anyway. So I think if that was the case, at least they'd be okay with it. We don't even get that. Laura is in the house. How are you, my dear? Congratulations on your recent marriage. I hope your life is better and better. I'm glad you're here. Good to see you. So yes, Brian said, I really stopped liking Stefan Alyamalinou when he jumped on a Trump train. But he's woman. I agree. Yes, I agree. Superman says, Austin being a Republican is one thing. He's gone full R-word and is a neocon. Yes, he's now a neocon. Also true. Also, he doesn't call himself that. He calls himself a libertarian nationalist. Now, that's not a neocon. Why? We've been through this before. Spelling. It is spelled totally different. Neocon and libertarian nationalist, I mean, there's like totally different words in it. Totally different. So take that, liberal. We're done. All right. So JJ, thank you for $2. Also, a mini book, Libertarian Nationalism in the vein of Malay, because it actually has teeth. It's not stuck in abstract theory. I'm not sure. Let's see what he says, JJ. So far, he has not done that. So there we go. We'll see. We'll see how that works. JJ, we'll see how it works, what I'm going to say. Look, to be forward, Austin's a friend of mine. I hope that this becomes something valuable, JJ. And I mean that honestly. I hope it does. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I hope it is. So Michael does not agree. Michael says libertarian nationalism is not a thing. It's all made up. All I'll say is Michael said that, not me. So there we go. Phil says you tax the middle class because that's where the money is. Well, depends on what. Yeah, sometimes. So, yeah. Phil goes on to say, I didn't know the American nation was in Venezuela. Well, that's because you're not paying attention. Trump has explained this to you already. God, get with the program, guys. So, yes, it is wherever we want it to be. That's the glory of Americanism. It's wherever you want it to be.
Housing is the central failure. California has long spoken the language of compassion while building a system of exclusion. Alicia Finley writes in the Wall Street Journal that from 2021 to 2024, the LA metro area with nearly 13 million people issued only 118,000 building permits for new homes.
Look at that.
Atlanta, with about half that population, issued 163,000.
Weird. It's almost like more regulation makes things worse. It's almost like that, isn't it? Now, again, some of you are laughing at this, right? You may be laughing at it, but the problem is, this is, this is Fareed Zakaria, CNN. This is a couple weeks ago. This is mainstream CNN going, you know what? Maybe California isn't perfect and maybe more government isn't the answer. That's why it matters. What he's saying isn't important. Everyone who's watching knew this already. The fact that he is saying it is what
California
matters.
has made it too hard, slow, and expensive to build. The result is predictable. Home prices soar, rents rise, workers commute farther, homelessness grows, young people leave. And people are leaving. Over the past 7 years, the state has lost a net 1.9 million people through domestic migration.
Just domestic
migration. For generations, people moved to California to pursue the future.
Absolutely.
Now many middle-class people are leaving because they can't afford one.
Yes.
Or look at education. For years, California schools had a plausible excuse. They were underfunded. Total spending on education through 12th grade has more than doubled.
Why do you hate the children? Why do you hate the children? That's what I'm saying. Why do you hate the children?
Since the early 2010s. And per pupil spending by 2023 was well above the national average.
19,000. 19,000. 19. Don't even come near me on $19,000 per student. You must be. Do you even pull your wallet out? Okay, New York, 40 grand. Take that, California. Take that. Take that. 19,000. Rookie numbers. That's you can't put a kid. You can't buy lunch for that. 19,000 per year. Must be kidding me. Get out of here with that trash. Just high school. You can't play in the big leagues. You cannot play in the big leagues at 19,000, 40,000, New York State. The rest of you go just step back. Andrea says it, 40,000, and the kids can't read. Boom. Win and win. Take that, Illinois. Can't mess with us. You cannot. When it comes to absolutely throwing money away in education, just wrecking it, useless, throwing garbage upon garbage. You cannot beat New York State. The only place that even comes close to just even coming near us is Luxembourg. I'm not joking. They have far better results, but they spend about what we do. But Luxembourg like literally puts out like rocket scientists. We put out TikTok influencers and bad ones. So yeah, 19,000. Get that shit out of here.
Yet the results remain dismal. In the 2024 Nations Report Card, California was 43rd in fourth grade math, 39th in fourth grade reading.
We're about there. We're about that in reading. Math, we got them in reading. We're probably like 39th again. And like we got them on reading. I mean, math, not on reading now.
36th in eighth grade math and 38th in eighth grade reading.
Yeah, we're about there with reading. We're about
Homelessness tells the same story in a more painful register.
That's impossible. They are spending all this money. There's no way they have homeless people.
A 2024 audit revealed California had spent $24 billion on the problem over a 5-year span.
Okay.
Yet in 2024, California reached a record high in homelessness, almost 200,000.
See what you're not getting here. What you're not getting here is they're just underfunded. They're underfunded. That's the problem. They're just underfunded because people like Phil don't want to give all of his money to them. That's the reason, because Phil hates homeless people. That's the problem.
Homelessness did decline by about 3% from 2024 to 2025. See? But the state's expansive, 3%. Expensive, and elaborate homelessness aid complex.
Oh. Did you hear what he called it? What have I been calling it for years? He said homeless aid complex. He didn't call it the homeless industrial complex. Not bad. Someone's watching my show, because I've been saying that for 8 years now? Homeless industrial complex. Now it's the homeless aid complex. I'll take it. This matters because this is mainstream CNN.
It's not proven to solve homelessness in any significant way.
What?
California's headline prosperity, generated in good part by a few industries like high tech, masks weaknesses underneath. Job creation has been sluggish. In 2025, California essentially failed to add any new jobs on net.
Did you hear that? No new jobs. No new jobs. Do you get that? No new jobs. Free is in the house. It took us 14 hours to fly home, and you were still answering the question, are you smarter than Bob? True, I was, and sadly, you weren't listening, because you might have learned something, but you weren't listening. Take that, Free.
Private industries outside government and government-supported healthcare actually shed jobs, according to the
private loss job. That's New York. We don't even. New York doesn't do any new jobs, private jobs. It's all government-based, all of it.
Center for Jobs in the economy. The state is using public spending to paper over private sector stagnation.
Oh, now, yes, I had to use this one because there isn't a more recent New York one, right? This is like 2 weeks old. So this is recent, but New York's exactly the same.
Nowhere is this more vivid.
See, it's the failing model of governance. See, what you don't get, Nosy, is this isn't real socialism. See, when we get the real socialism, then see, that's when it'll work. When we get the real socialism, this isn't the real one. Mamdani, he's see.
Then Los Angeles, where Hollywood, the city's defining industry, is in slow motion collapse.
Bingo.
The effects are being felt not by celebrity actors and influencers, but the carpenters, costumers, sound engineers, camera operators, editors, drivers, caterers, dry cleaners, prop houses, and small businesses that once formed one of the world's great industrial clusters.
True.
The numbers are stark. One report found LA shoot days fell from 36,792 in 2022
to what?
To just 19,600.
In just 3 years, cut in half. The industry is collapsing. I've been telling you about this forever. California right now can still survive because California has some of that, but more importantly, it has Silicon Valley. if Silicon Valley is floating it the same way Wall Street floats New York State. That's it. One reason why Illinois is collapsing so bad, it doesn't have a Wall Street or a Silicon Valley. It doesn't have that. It does have the Mercantile Exchange, but it doesn't have those two big things. One reason why it struggles worse. If either of those two pack up and leave, those states go under. Those states go under.
194 in 2025. Another report estimates film, television, and sound jobs fell by nearly 30%.
Look at that.
Motion picture.
That means even independent films are not picking up the slack.
Employment in LA County fell from about 142,000 at the end of 2022 to roughly 100,000 2 years later.
1/3 drop.
Hollywood is still the symbol, the brand, the mythology, and it still houses the big studios that produced most of the world's greatest entertainment for almost a century.
True.
But thanks largely to high taxes, costs, and regulations.
Wait a minute. It's almost like high taxes and regulations that the left just laughs at us when we talk about. They laugh at us. You and your taxes, regulations, everybody died. That's what they always say. They laugh at us all the time. The left just laughs and how stupid it is, and blah, blah. It's almost like what we've been saying forever is actually true and happening. So when you get the regulations that you want, when you get the laws that you want, when you get the rules that you want, what happens? Oh, it collapses.
The work has moved elsewhere to Georgia, New Jersey, Toronto, London, and Warsaw.
Yep.
Michael Linton, who ran Sony Entertainment, told me that the big studio lots look like ghost towns now.
Ghost
with
town.
Tens of acres of sound stages and recording studios where nothing is happening.
True.
He said Los Angeles is becoming a sunny version of Detroit.
Think about that. That's LA, a sunny version of Detroit.
Consider this simple fact, according to Fortune. None of the 10 films nominated for Best Picture this year were primarily produced in Hollywood. Los Angeles still hosts the Oscars, but increasingly it does not actually make the movies being honored.
He said none. Zero. Zero. Yes.
There. For years, Democrats in California have governed without any real competition.
Why bother?
The recent primary results suggest.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Is Fareed Zakaria saying that competition is good? What? What? Competition? We all know competition is because businesses and evil and stuff.
That even in deep blue territory, voters are restless. They're not becoming Republicans.
Now, I just told you about how Democrats are failing and the Republicans, people getting mad at Republicans, aren't becoming Republicans. The Republicans aren't becoming Democrats. The Democrats aren't becoming Republicans either. The problem that we're having now is Democrats are becoming socialists and Republicans are checking out. This is what this entire thing is about. Republicans are checking out. Democrats are becoming socialists. So pissed off Republicans just walk away. Pissed off Democrats become socialists.
But they are asking a reasonable question.
What's the question?
Why does a state with so much money, talent, and promise make life for ordinary people so hard? A new Reuters Ipsos poll out this week finds that more than half of Americans believe.
So yeah, I want to put that piece out there so you guys saw that piece. So that was important. But now, the last piece I'll bring up, which I think is very interesting, is the reason why I brought this up is because this is Al Jazeera from 2 years ago when Malay was in charge. Okay? It's when Malay was in charge. There's a little bit of harshness here. I may have to cut some of it out because it is a little bit harsh. But this was when Malay was in charge and what they said was going to happen. This is what they said was going to happen. Just so you're clear.
Argentina's economic crisis has hit tenants especially hard and is forcing thousands of families to build shacks without electricity, sewerage, or water on land grabs. Since the elimination of rent control laws.
See, since the elimination of rent control, because Javier Milei came in and he said, I'm going to get rid of rent control. The second he said that, everyone said, this is terrible. The world's going to end. It's horrible. You can see how bad it is. This guy's crazy. All terrible stuff, right? All of it.
A month ago, new people have started arriving here. A lot more families are going to move here with this situation. Things will get much worse.
Everything's going to get much worse. That's what they're saying. It's all going to get much worse. See? Okay. Let's see how worse it's going to get. Okay, I got to zip past this piece real fast. A bit of blood there. Okay, here we go.
Seriously injured here in a violent land dispute.
Because the bad guys came out.
The families that you see behind me say that they are traumatized, that they were attacked overnight by gunmen working for the alleged mafia that buys and...
See what happened was the second that he said that, then the mafia came in. The people who buy stuff on the black market back and forth.
Sells plots of land in this area for all the people who cannot afford any longer to pay for rent.
See, they can't afford to pay for rent anymore. See how bad that is? They can't afford to do it anymore because Malay's so evil. Because you know what's going to happen, right? That's the whole point.
But property owners welcome the elimination of rent.
See, property owners welcome it. See how this was an actual piece done 2 years ago. There's more.
Controlled regulations, arguing that previous laws made renting unprofitable because of chronic high inflation.
See?
Now we have more rentals on the market. Yesterday we had 800 as opposed to 150 the previous week.
So the second it happened, housing went from 150, this one place, to 800, multiplied by 4. So 4 times the amount of apartments went onto the market. So you would think if you understood anything about economics, oh, that's amazing, because now more will mean lower pricing. But she can't get that because lefties or something, whatever. No. So what that means is greedy landlords will just charge even more money for more stuff, whatever. It's dumb. The market's dumb. Doesn't work.
Camila Ferrer works in a restaurant in an upper middle-class neighborhood in Buenos Aires. She says she was already paying a fortune for rent. But now her housing problems are much worse.
They're worse now because more stuff's on. What? Okay.
I'm afraid that Argentina will become unlivable, and I don't want to leave my country.
I don't want to leave this country. Yes.
She's referring to the elimination of rental property regulations.
See, when you get rid of regulations, then everybody dies.
Landlord can now renew her lease for short periods and in any currency, even in bitcoins.
In bitcoins.
My new lease is for only 3 months and for $300 a month. I'd have no choice but to pay in dollars, and buying them is impossible. It's a crisis that's likely to intensify.
It's likely to intensify. Everything said it's going to get worse. That's what she said 1,000 times.
Especially for those already struggling to keep a decent roof over their heads.
All right. Now, why do I say that? Why did I put you through that? Because that was 2 years ago, how bad it was. All right. Now I'm going to bring up what other people said too. This is here in America. This is from Reason Magazine, and they're going to tell what they were talking about. But this is only about a year ago. So a year after he was in charge.
The best path out is through freedom.
Malay's big cuts worked. And now a few in the media even admit that.
That's my problem. They won't admit it. They sat there and took a steaming pile on top of everything. They are praising Mamdani like he's the best in the world, yet California is showing how it fails. They are praising socialism like there's no tomorrow, yet California shows how it fails. New York shows how it fails. People leave. They took a dump on Milei like the world was ending. He's going to crush the world, but it's working. And now they won't say a word. Now they won't say a word. People all the time say, well, Larry, when has libertarianism ever worked? It's called Argentina. It's called
what he's been able to achieve in a very short time ought to be inspiring.
At first, this analyst tracked.
And again, this is Brenner. This guy is very popular in the mainstream. Like he goes on mainstream shows. He has his own little, think tank. He does all that stuff.
He has no experience and he does not have an economic team.
No economic team.
So he's going to fail.
But
he's going to fail. That's what he said. He said Milei is going to fail. Why? Because he doesn't have the establishment team that I would have.
8 months later, he acknowledged
his radical plan to save Argentina's economy seems to be working.
A lot of the international press in the last month has come out and said, we got to take this guy seriously. This stuff is working.
Now, those changes have led to a budget surplus, the first
budget surplus
in 15 years.
Hold on. Didn't we just hear California, New York, budget doubling, tripling? Didn't we hear that? But this is just
inflation is down. The economy started to recover in the second part of last year, way before what most people expected.
It's almost as if you follow more libertarian-leaning rules, that things will get better.
Milei is showing that his libertarian policies are working.
What does libertarian policy mean?
Milei got rid of 9 ministries. He cut government spending by 30%.
He fired thousands of government workers and cut handouts.
He has slashed energy and transport subsidies, government spending on things like pensions.
His deregulation ministry shut down 200 government offices.
200 government offices shut down. Mamdani's doing the opposite, as I showed you. Mamdani literally is saying, I'm going to grift so hard, I'm not even grifting out, I'm grifting in. I'm making sure I have more stuff. Isn't that crazy?
2 deregulations per day since he's been in office. That's remarkable.
Sometimes the results were good immediately. Rent control in Argentina had created a shortage of apartments.
When Milei lifted rent controls,
what happened?
The supply of apartments in Argentina tripled and their price fell by about half.
Wait, that's no. Obviously, that can't be true because the guy just told us, just told us on Al Jazeera, this is going to get worse. And she literally said people are going to be getting shot in the streets. Remember that? They're going to leave Argentina, going to be shot in the streets. That's what she told us. It's almost as if she was just full of shit.
Libertarians keep saying that if you get rid of the price controls, the supply goes up and that reduces prices.
Milei really does understand free market economics.
Argentina still has big problems, although inflation is a fraction of what.
Look what happened to inflation. Wish we can get some of that. Hey, Argentina, you got some of that low inflation? I'd like to have some of that. Robbins had been trying to explain to friends that libertarian policy is the most sound I've seen as a platform in political parties in the nearly 50 years of my adult life. Yes, you can have them go to places like this. You can have them watch my show. You haven't asked me any question. I am happy to have any of your friends ask me any question they want. I'll go back and forth with them. Happy to. I do it all the time. It's insane. Free says he kissed the wall too. Well, perhaps there are certain things he has to do to get the things that he wants. No, says Mamdani has the wallet for NYC, of course. They're going to support him. They want some of what's on that wallet. Yes, 100% true. That's absolutely accurate. Yes. All righty. Verona says, I got a jet, y'all. I need to jump on a bus and go give Smiley a birthday smooch. Yeah. Oh, Missy said yes, Verona. Okay. Verona, don't tease my woman like that. You want to go kiss her, get your happy hour bus and go kiss her then. All right? Don't tease her. All right.
It was. It's still hot. There's lots of poverty. And Argentina's tariffs make consumer goods expensive. This $800 iPhone costs almost $3,000 there.
Again, the part that he did very well, what Milei did very well, was Milei actually told his people it's going to be hard. Trump failed that. Trump did not express that at all. Most of Trump's plans that he had this time, I have to say the first term too, were longer term plans. What he did not do well is explain that to anybody. He was terrible. Most people still don't know what the hell he's trying to do. They still don't know. The average person isn't paying attention. You got to tell them A, B, C, D. D, he did nothing like that. He didn't set his people to do anything like that. His communication has been terrible. But this is one thing Milei did very well. And he was flamboyant. Milei's communication was amazing. And it helped. Emily says, happy birthday. Oh, yes, my birthday was yesterday. And I have my card here. Hold on. I have it sitting here. I got my card that I got. I got my card, my happy B-Day card. I got my card. So thank you guys. I appreciate that. They gave me the card when I was at Freedom Fest. So I do appreciate it. And it's still sitting right here. So I did not throw it out. I kept it because I love it and I'm very happy. So thank you for that. Yes.
Argentina still has a long way to go. And that's why Milei recently said that what's coming is the deep chainsaw.
Meaning
yes.
Much.
Now that's the issue that's also smart. Too many people want to cut it all right away. If you cut it all right away, people respond and they push back and they won't listen and you won't get what you want. That's why so many libertarians get mad at me. Larry, just cut it all. If you start cutting it all, people push back. You got to cut just enough. They see it. Oh, is that working? That's working. Okay, cut some more. Now, the hard part is how much did I go too far? Not enough. What do I cut? That's the hard part. But the easy part is knowing don't go all the way. A little bit, give them a taste. That tastes good. A little bit more. Oh, it tastes good too. Here's some more. That's how you do it. And he got it. He's the example. Robin says, a lot of my friends are so narrow-minded, they won't even listen to me. True story. I'm at a party about 3 weeks ago. I forgot when it was. And a woman is trying to tell me how I should give Mamdani credit for balancing the budget. She's trying to tell me that he's a great mayor because he balanced the budget. And I said, oh, okay. Did Eric Adams balance the budget? She went, well, I said, he did. Did Kathy Hochul balance the budget? Well, he did. She did. And they have to. So it's the law. They must. And they also get to balance the budget by doing two things that no one else can do. She went, what do you mean? I said, one, they get to project. I'm not making this up. They could just go, well, see, I could tell my bank, hey, bank, you should give me my money. Why? Are you able to pay it? Yes, because I'm projecting that Robin is going to give me $10,000 next month. Okay, is she going to? I'm projecting that. Okay, is there any evidence? I am projecting that Robin's going to give me $10,000 next month so I can pay all my bills. And New York State goes, okay, I guess you're okay. I wish I was joking. It's true. Not just that, I'm in debt. So I go, damn, I'm in debt. I got to service that debt. Let me get a credit card that can pay off that debt or at least service that debt and then service that credit card's debt by going more into debt. Well, so you're servicing your debt. Yes, you have balanced your budget. But I'm in debt. I know. But you're paying your debt. You're servicing your debt. And you're projecting that Robin's going to write you a check for $10,000. So your budget is balanced. I wish I was joking. That's how it works. So, and I explained that to her. And she went, well, and she got up and she left. I'm not joking. She just left. She didn't realize that I knew what I was talking about. That was her error. But anyway, yes. So that is sadly not uncommon. And it's worse on the left than the right. The right will sometimes do it too. They'll sometimes get mad and take their football and go home. They do it too. But the left is way worse. The left will do one of two things. Just not talk to you or just insult you. Just, Robin, you're stupid. You don't know. You're dumb. But they just insult you, or they'll walk away. They're much worse. It's why I have a harder time getting lefties on my show because they won't come on. Bill Maher, same problem. Won't have lefties on the show. They won't come on. You're totally correct. Yes. Sue Morgan says the answer is to cut spending. Yes. However, the DSA and Republicans have been phenomenal at misrepresenting this and blaming it on the free market enterprise. True. Accurate statement. Absolutely true. Barna says, is that John Stossel? My goodness, he hasn't aged well. Maybe it's because of that slap from Dutch Schultz. Well, you probably haven't watched him in a while. He's been old and he's been ill the past couple of years. So yes, I do know him. He lives in my city. So I do see him every once in a while. So, yep.
Less government. What if we could have that in America?
Basically, the world.
Yeah, there we go. Phil says it. He had cancer. It's rough when you look. It's true. Yeah, that is true. That did actually happen. Yes. So anyway, so I think I covered that piece. I want to pop past this if I can a little bit more.
He has showed that cuts are possible. And as Milei cut government, he actually gained popularity.
Yes.
Freedom can work.
Yes. Freedom can work. He gained popularity. The question is, how fast do you do it? Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. And that was the part I wanted you to see. I thought that was important that we actually saw how that worked, right? What was going on, how that worked, and how it actually was just failing miserably. That part to me was very impressive. So anyway, we are in a spot where people are actually paying attention, which I love that part tremendously. I'm not done yet. I want to go through a bunch of comments, but before I do that, guys, click the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. If you have not pushed it yet, it's because you hate the homeless. Why do you hate them? What have they done to you? Stop being a jerk. You don't hate the homeless, so click the like button. You didn't click it? You hate the homeless? I've decided that's true. Yes. If you haven't done that, then please share this or repost this someplace if you would. I would appreciate it. Please share it someplace if you can. If you don't share it, then you love communism. See that? That's how that works. Sorry. There we go. Okay. All right. I don't want to, yeah. And of course, this is a fundraiser. Guys, please, if you can donate, LarrySharpe.com/donate. I'm still trying my damnedest to get on the ballot, fighting hard in lawsuits, staying busy, traveling, finding people, finding donors, and moving forward. So if you can help, please help. It does matter. All right. So let me grab a couple of these if I can. Righty. I think I did that one here. I think I covered most of these things. Let me cover that there. All right. Robin goes on to say, oh, yes, I've lost friends of that rigid refusal to entertain any thoughts but their own. True. Superman says, Larry hitting someone with factually accurate information so that they have to walk away instead of facing their emotional commitment to being wrong. Yes. Yes. Oh, Phil got quotes tonight. A society that chooses between capitalism and socialism does not choose between two social systems. It chooses between social cooperation and disintegration of society. Ludwig von Mises. Nice. I like that. That is good. All righty. Let's see here. Andrew says, confession by projection. True. Why does Sluzzle look like Wolverine? Because he's trying to be cool. He's trying to be like me. Not working, but he's trying. I'll give him that. He's trying. Yes. All right. Bronna says, Missy, if I've left that neighborhood, I would definitely head your way before I croak. I want to see that smart person. Ain't nothing stopping you, brother. You're in Virginia. She's in West Virginia. There we go. Yes, I'm giving a nudge. I don't care. I like my people to meet each other. I do. I like us to be together. I do. Many of you know I have met many of you in person. I've met many of you in person. So I let you know where I'm going. So you can come see me if you want to. And some of you do come see me. I'm happy to. You can go see each other too. This community does matter to me. And that's why I say it. So yes. And it says month-to-month rent kind of does have its perks. It can, because you can renegotiate, right? As the system begins to shift and adjust, you can renegotiate. So yeah, that's something that people don't often see. You have the opportunity to say, wait a minute. Andrew says, just listening to all this makes me wonder, is Fried Zakar the new Tucker Carlson, but for the center left? I wouldn't go that far. He is heavily, he's really establishment, but he's savvy enough. How do I explain this? Why do I still watch Fareed sometimes? Because very often Fareed does diagnose the problem very well. And every once in a while, he doesn't screw up the answer. Usually he screws the answer up, but sometimes he doesn't. And when he doesn't, that's when I show it. And this time he did screw the answer up. Often they'll go, these things are true, it doesn't work. So what we need is better government. And he kind of said that. Yeah. Phil goes on to say, the worst thing that can happen to a socialist is to have his country ruled by socialists who are not his friends. Yes, Ludwig von Mises, I say that. Socialism, when you're on this side of the gun, amazing. Amazing. It's when you're on the other side of the gun, not so good. When you're on the right side of the gun, amazing. Yep. All righty. Free says, you held court after a long day and you were sharp as ever. You're a natural treasure. Oh, thank you. I love chatting with people. I do. My community matters for you. Know that. I'm the guy who, when you say, hey, Larry, at the place, I actually stop and talk. I'm that guy. A lot of people don't do that. I I do that. It's true. Yes, absolutely. So, all righty. Let's see here. Bronner says, I hope Mike isn't mad at me. I guess I'll find out the roundtable after the Gov Shack. Yeah, you can go talk to him when the time comes. But I'm more important. Yes. Christopher asks, does educational fraud have impact on the numbers, like the Leering Center? Of course it does. Again, it's a lot of people handing out jobs, handing out stuff. Yes, it's a lot of that. Handing out stuff, handing out jobs. It's a whole lot of that. Absolutely. Kintsugi is here. How are you? I'm glad you're here. I'm very glad you're here. I appreciate that. And who's ready to leave? Okay, before you leave, I do have something I'm going to show you. Before you leave, don't leave yet. I have to show you something. I don't know what this is. My team has told me I have to show it to you. I haven't seen it. So if it sucks, it's Phil's fault. There we go. If it's good, it's my fault. So that's what I'll do. If it sucks, it's Phil's fault or Dee's fault. You pick who you want to blame. But if it's good, then it's, yeah. Oh, hold on. Did I just drop it? Hold on. Sorry. Oh, hold on. You can hear it?
Hey, I just wanted to say happy birthday to one of the best guys in the Liberty Movement, somebody I've been so inspired by, and I know has inspired so many people. So I just want to take a moment to say happy birthday, Spike.
Wait, Free. It's Larry's birthday.
Larry who?
Hey, Larry. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right, young man, got a little older, but you know what? You're always going to be a wise one. I'm glad that you're having another great birthday. I want to wish you many, many more. Enjoy yourself. Have some fun. Win some elections. And let's get into a few more debates. I love it. All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Hello, young man Larry. May you have a wonderful, terrific, outstanding, incredible, amazing, top tier, running out of adjectives, tremendous birthday. Thank you so much for all that you do, and keep fighting that good fight. You have all of the Sharpies behind you and then some. I wish you life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness all the days of your life. Take care. Bye.
Happy birthday, Larry. I am very honored to have you as a friend. And I think with you in the world, we are a little more free. So you can quote me on that. Happy birthday. Love you. See you soon, I hope. Bye.
I am here to wish the sharpest person in politics a very happy birthday. Larry, thank you for always speaking truth to power and being an inspiration for us all. I hope you have a marvelous birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Sharpe, from us here at the Donnelly family. We hope that you celebrate deservingly with family and friends. Take care.
Happy birthday, Governor Sharpe.
Hey, Larry, happy birthday. And remember, if we each get 2 people on board each week, you're the next governor of New York.
Hey, Larry, you are such an uplifting and positive voice in the Liberty Movement. I hope you have an amazing birthday and many, many more.
Hey, from all of us at the Black Powder Podcast, we want to wish Larry Sharpe, a champion of liberty, a very happy birthday and many more. Live free or die.
To the man who gave a small YouTuber a chance, happy birthday, Larry. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Larry Sharpe, today is your birthday. Thank you so much for being who you are, for being determined, for being resilient, and for jumping over every hurdle that was meant to come and slow down your momentum. I know that it's only a matter of time before you get on the ballot and you become the governor of New York. Thank you so much for everything that you do, and it is a joy being a part of your team. I hope you have a happy, happy birthday and many more to come. Happy birthday, Larry.
Happy birthday to the GOAT, none other than Larry Sharpe. Happy birthday, brother. So happy for all the things that you've done for the community, for the movement of liberty, and you're a great father. and it shows by the way you run the campaign, include your family, and always make time and include your daughters. It's just an amazing thing. Enjoy your birthday. Have fun. Happy birthday, Larry.
I think it's done.
Hey, Larry, your favorite troublemaker, Bruno the Anarchist. Happy birthday. Stay cool.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, we love you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Larry.
Hey, Larry, wishing you a happy birthday. I hope you enjoy your birthday. And anyway, thank you. How old are you again? 18 years old. Have a good time and all the best in your campaign.
48, 49, 250. Oh, hey, just want to wish you a happy birthday, Larry, and thanks for doing all the heavy lifting here in New York, fighting for liberty.
Hey, happy birthday, Larry. You're such an inspiration to so many people in the liberty movement and podcasters and candidates and parents. And you have one of the best audiences out there. I love your audience. And you're the most prolific answerer in game show history. So you got that going for you. So I just wanted to take a minute and say happy birthday to you, brother. And thanks for everything you've done for me and for my show. And now push yourself away from the cake and go win that governor's race. Happy birthday, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did we play a video? I didn't notice. What was that about? Don't know. Did we play the video? Oh, wait, it was my birthday, wasn't it? It was, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that tremendously. I really do appreciate it. Yesterday, sadly, I had to spend my entire birthday in an airport as I was coming back from Freedom Fest. So I do appreciate that tremendously. Everything you guys said was nice. I love the flex, Phil. Nicely done. I also love the fact that many of you actually saw each other, which I love more than anything, which is why I do the shows I do. The connection, I love it so much. Very good, guys. I do appreciate that tremendously. And I can say I am finally 26. So I can, when I rent a car, I don't have to pay the extra fee because I'm over 25 now. So that's good. Now, please do not pretend, do not pay attention to the fact that my daughter's 22. Start with the math. There's no math involved. I'm 26. That's kind of how that works. So yes, and of course, Reed does. Happy birthday, Spike. Well done. Spike is amazing though. So I'm taking anything away from Spike. That's amazing. But yes, guys, thank you so much for that. I do appreciate that. One day I will actually have Mike says yeah, more like 46, more like 56, but that's okay. I'm just saying it. Kinsugi says you're not 85. I look amazing for 85. I'm not 85, but for 85, amazing. That's all I'm saying. Amazing for 85, my dear. Amazing. Thank you, all of you, for actually who took the time to actually look at that and to do that and to put it together. I do appreciate it. You, in many cases in my life, I have not celebrated my birthday. It's I just really care much about. But the larger we build out this movement, the more things like this matter. And I appreciate it tremendously. I want to keep going, as you know, and one of the reasons why I do this is because of the community. You guys know that. That's why I do it. So that's what I appreciate. So I hope that makes sense. He said, you don't look a day over Joe Biden. I have some of my faculties, so I look less than him, I guess. Yes. And he says, if you're 26, you're younger than both of my kids. Okay. I'm sticking to it. That's all I'm saying. I'm sticking to it. So you can say what you want to say. I'm totally sticking to it. That's where I am. Guys, this is amazing. I appreciate it. If you guys want to put this someplace, that's great. If you guys have it someplace, that's great. Let people know if they want to check it out. I think it's awesome the way it's going. I appreciate it a lot. I'm getting a lot of birthday wishes, which I appreciate completely. And I do want to say, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I want to say thank you so much for watching today. And not just that, thank you so much for watching often. And I'll go to the next piece. And I think that Free put it up right, which is thank you guys for being a chat that I can actually be proud of. A lot of people aren't proud of their chat, or they use their chat in a way that's negative or aggressive. Mine isn't that. Mine is a bunch of people who want to be together and stay together, and I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy it works that way. I'm glad you guys keep doing it. And you know that I talk to you all. I think it's amazing. All right, guys, I'm going to ask you if you can click that button that's like, please do so. I appreciate it. But after the live, I want you to ask this question. All right, this is a tough one because we had millionaires, homelessness, but then we wrapped it up with my birthday. So, okay, here it is. Weird question, but I think it'll work. What would be the best birthday present you could receive on your next birthday? What would be or that you should have received your last? You pick. What would be the best birthday present you could have received on your last birthday, or can receive or should receive on your next birthday? What is the best birthday present you could or should have received? Please put that in the chat. Comment after the chat's done. I will be back on tomorrow on the Sharpe Way, and Wednesday also on the Sharpe Way. Not Thursday. I guess I'm not going to do. And then on Friday, I will be on those days. They'll all be on the Sharpe Way. I will see you all very soon.